Mark Vina with SmartTech Research. We're here at Infineon Technologies of OktoberTech, an event that I've been to several times. I'm here with Andreas Urschitz, the CMO of Infineon Technology. Thank you for inviting me to the event, Andreas.
Thank you a lot. My pleasure to be your guest.
Andreas thought that I look like an anchorman. That is not absolutely true. I'm not an anchorman for the news, but I would like to talk to you about the importance of this event. We'll get into that in about a second. Infineon has really been focusing on decarbonization and digitalization for the last several years. They're really not new commitments, but now you kind of formalize the company's strategies around that. From your vantage point, talk to me about what that means for Infineon from a strategy and process standpoint. Why are those two corporate objectives so important to the company?
Look, when you look into climate neutral technologies or technologies that help getting the world closer towards climate neutrality, immediately you're talking about electronic systems and gadgets, if you will, that surround us and make up the way how we are living in a very comfortable and convenient manner. Just think about your electric car, or think about your smart home, think about a charging station. Everything is then full of electronics, and electronics, you merely see what stands behind these applications. We call it applications. Most of them are enabled and facilitated by semiconductors. Semiconductors that Infineon not only, but in particular Infineon is doing. And having said that, today Infineon, and I'm very proud of being part of this company, having been in the development and also production mostly of power semiconductors for the last 30 to 40 years, followed by sensors, microcontrollers, connectivity chips, and also memory devices, including security, hardware-based security. These are all microelectronic systems, if you will, that contribute for each and any device that we are using to be either more intelligent, thus consume lesser energy out of for instance, in an air conditioning system, switching on only when room temperature requires or when there's presence detected, or make electronic equipment as such much more energy efficient when using energy. And that's what the company vision is, supply and continue to innovate in the area of energy efficient technologies that help getting our arms as a world around the topic of climate warming and decarbonize planet Earth.
We're here in the heart of Silicon Valley. We're here in Mountain View. We're here at the Computer History Museum, which is a remarkable place for those of you who have not been here. It's just an incredible venue for really understanding the roots of technology. Silicon Valley has played such a tremendous role in that. What's so important about staging OktoberTech here? I mean, you've conducted this event in several different venues, but there must be something thematic that was interesting to Infineon. So could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so first of all, the OktoberTech is a platform. Infineon is providing a platform to, in a regular manner, get together innovators in an ecosystem of people who contribute to either microelectronics, electrification of each and everything, building things that going forward make our way of living more convenient, but that also shall help saving energy and shall help ideally to make more out of less. So we bring this ecosystem of people, be it OEM customers, be it system developers, be it software designers, be it semiconductor people together and talk about innovation, talk about the latest and greatest thing to come in microelectronics that later helps to enforce and improve user experience of you and me when using the electric car in 3 or 5 years from now, having a much better kind of human-to-machine interface, for instance, or much longer reach of the battery due to better power electronics used in the entire powertrain. So point number one, the OktoberTech is an ecosystem. Point number two, why we've chosen this place, and that goes along with the idea of getting the ecosystem in a meaningful atmosphere, which I believe this computer museum ideally provides. So it's an atmosphere where, so to say, the history of computerization of mankind is being exhibited. It is a place where high tech is represented at its best, if you will, and I strongly believe that once the place and the theme of the place fits the theme of the ecosystem, namely innovation in the area of decarbonization, digitalization, that the entire power that results out of this is much more impactful. That's why we are here.
Well, and what's interesting about Infineon, Infineon is one of those companies that there is a very high probability that most people, when they look throughout their home, there's a very distinct possibility there's Infineon technology in that car, in that IoT device. More and more people have all kinds of connected devices in the home. And I can't think of a better place, frankly, to have an event like this, because Infineon has played such a great role in those products and will continue to play that kind of ingredient role in technology. Let's talk for a couple of moments. The topic that's on everyone's mind is AI. Can't go anywhere. You go for a hamburger, McDonald's, they're talking about AI. The truth is, in my coverage of Infineon, is that Infineon has really been involved in AI for quite a bit of time. Now the tag word is AI, and it's got like kind of a brand name. Sometimes people equate AI with things like ChatGPT, which is a form of AI. You know, that's just one example of a tool. But talk a little bit about the philosophy that Infineon has and has had in the past, what their approach to AI is.
Most importantly, Infineon is not in the area of producing AI compute chips. We are the company which is powering AI. And one of the big things that mankind has to solve with the proliferation of applications such as ChatGPT, for instance, which my kids got used so much to and are using in order to do their mathematic homeworks and things like that, they are extremely power hungry. And what Infineon is doing is we are working on the latest and greatest technology that helps with a minimum amount of energy losses to provide electricity towards an AI learning center to make most efficient use of scarce resource, which is electricity, and allow compute and learning algorithms to run with a minimum power requirement, if you will, and thus also contribute a bit to decarbonizing planet Earth, or I would rather say to decelerate, if you will, the number of power needed in order to kind of support this exponentially growth of machine learning and machine learning needs going forward.
And what's fascinating about it, and you obviously talked about this this morning at your little chat this morning, is that with this almost obsession with companies going after AI chips, they're putting those in their products. Every silicon company in the Valley is focusing on how to embed AI algorithms into their chips. Well, guess what? AI tends to be very power hungry, you know, and that's where I think Infineon comes to the rescue to try to minimize the energy footprint on those type of solutions. And I saw some news just yesterday that Infineon just closed on your GaN acquisition. So, because they are related, and you got folks have been a leader in that category for quite some time. The GaN acquisition obviously, you know, cements that position, but could you talk a little bit about that for a moment?
Yeah, gallium nitride is one of these novel upcoming material systems in power semiconductors, which brings another large portion of improvement on the table towards even more efficiently converting power and voltage, if you will. Every electronic system needs power, and provision of power and electricity in the most efficient manner. Here, gallium nitride comes into the play and helps to do that even more efficiently. We are super happy about the closing of the acquisition of GaN Systems. It is, so to say, amending our portfolio in terms of gallium nitride-based products. So portfolio amendments, if you will, and puts us in the leading position in the area of gallium nitride offering, and we're very happy that we are there with then also the only company on planet Earth that can offer all three material systems: silicon-based power semiconductors, so which used to be around for the last 40 to 50 years, and Infineon was a pioneer in that area, coupled with silicon carbide-based power semiconductor switches, and now amended by a large portfolio of gallium nitride devices. And each of these different material systems have their specific advantage in the direction of saving electricity.
Any closing thoughts on the event, on where Infineon is, and just kind of wrap it up for us?
No, I believe driving decarbonization and digitalization together, which is the Infineon vision, has, so to say, a huge imprint at the OktoberTech. The OktoberTech, for me, used to be always a source of inspiration to formulate that kind of vision, which I believe Infineon was always working on chips that help saving energy, for instance, or that help digitalizing planet Earth in the last 10, 20, 40 years. Nowadays, and since the OktoberTech people who are around here came to me and said, look, guys, you're doing so great things. Why don't you more transparently talk about this and help also public communication or public debate going forward in the area of what it takes to make climate neutrality a reality. So having said that, I'd very much like to have all these people who have become part of the ecosystem and have become part of the gang that's driving decarbonization forward together here, and I'm very much looking forward for great debate. And last not least, after working hard, it's our intention to, at the end of the OktoberTech, move in the so-called Oktoberfest. We also want to play hard with all the people and reward ourselves and have a cheers with a toast together then at the end of today.
Well, you can't have OktoberTech without Oktoberfest.
So it is.
Thank you for inviting me to the event, and Andreas, Urschitz, thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm from the Infineon Austria team. I work with as PSS, and I want to present you today the digital stethoscope we have recently developed. So the concept behind the digital stethoscope is pretty simple. We are using a commercial stethoscope head, as you already know it more or less from your visits at medical facilities. So the stethoscope head is responsible for picking up the heart sounds that are created every time the heart valves are closing. This signal is then forwarded to one of our high-performance sensitive MEMS microphones, which is responsible for the digitalization of the signal that's picked up from the heart. And this signal, in turn, is forwarded to one of our AirRock Bluetooth Low Energy microcontrollers, which is transmitting the data, as you can see, in real time to any BLE-capable host device. So just to prove it, it is a real-time transmission. When I tap onto the membrane, we should see sharp peaks in the background. So when I tap here, we see the peaks. And by exchanging the stethoscope head, we could address multiple markets, multiple potential markets. So with commercial, very high-end stethoscope head, we could address medical facilities like hospitals, doctors' offices. So basically everybody who needs to use a stethoscope on a day-to-day basis can use our stethoscope and use a digital stethoscope from now onwards. And the second market, or the second potential market we wanted to address, is developing a low-cost version, like where we would replace the stethoscope head with a 3D printed version, where we could ship or sell these devices to third world countries, to countries in to people in rural areas, people who might need to take a plane to go to the next medical facility, because then they just simply would need to put their stethoscope head onto the chest, maybe are in talk with a medical expert via WebEx, and the medical expert is just telling them where to put the stethoscope head. And in real time they would transmit the data to their PC. The data gets uploaded to some sort of cloud, and the medical expert could assess the data from hundreds of miles away. So with this device we want to foster telemedicine and would love to enable healthcare all around the world.
Hi, I'm Michaela Landgraf from Echo Health. Right here we have our two digital stethoscopes, which are AI enabled. Here is the Littmann Core digital stethoscope, which came out in 2020. And then right here is our newest stethoscope, the Core 500 digital stethoscope, which came out of June in 2023. Our company has both hardware and software. Our stethoscopes are enabled with AI, active noise cancellation and amplification. When they're powered with our software called Sensora, they can detect for cardio abnormalities. If I did a quick demo, This would differentiate between an innocent and structural heart murmur. So that way a clinician in a primary care setting can detect for that abnormality right at the point of care and have that baseline understanding of a person's health. When this is flagged right at the point of care, we're able to reduce costs and reduce healthcare burden, and therefore a patient can be detected earlier and referred to a cardiologist earlier on, which improves their patient outcomes.
Hi, my name is Daniel Dalpiaz. I'm the Product Marketing Manager for Infineon, and today I would like to demonstrate our 50 kilowatt reference design, which is a building block that can be used in high-fast DC fast charging stations. So what we see here is a fully functional subunit using our CoolSeek devices, 6 milliohms, 1200 volts, easy package. This system is bidirectional, so it works in both ways. And it basically has, our Infineon devices, microcontroller, gate drivers, current sensors, and our silicon carbide switch. This block here goes inside of the station. What you see is a building block. You can stack up multiple of these in order to achieve high power levels for DC fast charging operations.